So I want to teach you guys to pass secret notes to each other.
Oh, okay.
I know this is super dorky, but this is actually an application that's pretty reasonable. So I would like to encode information. And so I'm going to encode this message. Huh. Okay? So what I need is I need some kind of encoder ring decoder gadget, right? Or what?
Or a box.
Or a box, yeah. Because this is kind of matrix class at the moment. I'm going to use a box of numbers. And I need to make sure that I can undo this. Why would I care?
So that the other person could read what you had to say.
Good, because it would be really stupid to encode something in a way that no one can decode. Right? That's also known as writing whatever you are trying to encode on a piece of paper and setting it on fire. Right?
Yeah.
Read the smoke signals.
Okay.
They have the graphite chain.
So, to encode two letters, I'm going to use a 2x2 matrix. It can be any 2x2 matrix that has what property?
Inverse?
Yeah, it should probably be invertible so I can undo this later. Okay, so I'm going to throw in here my favorite invertible matrix. Oh. There's the inverse of this is probably going to suck because I just picked it out of there. But whatever. So here's the matrix. How do I know this thing's invertible? Because the determinant's not 0 specifically, it's like 5 or something. Cool? Okay, so my goal is going to be to apply this to my message. Huh. This is probably going to be dumb if I what?
Leave it as letters.
Yeah, if I leave this as high.
It should be 8 and 9.
Ah. Okay. Where'd you get 8 and 9?
8th letter of the alphabet is H, and then 9th letter of the alphabet is I.
Cool. I didn't know that. I'm glad you did.
I counted.
I was going to. Okay, so I would recommend counting out some letters, right? So here's 8 and 9 specifically. I would spend a second thinking about where you're going to put the space.
The space, like between words? Or, okay.
Right? If you're going to encode a longer message, you're probably going to want something to use as a space bar. Right? So you don't have these long strings of letters that you have to sort the words out of. So put it at 0 or 27, it doesn't matter which, but put it somewhere. Okay? What do I get when I do this? Numbers, good. And specifically, it's a 2x1 matrix. And in this case, it's 25 and
30 something.
it's not working. 35.
Yeah.
Okay, there's my message, encoded just like that. How do I unencode this thing? Like, I pass you these two numbers, or transmit them to you in little beeps across a telegraph machine, which is actually probably a good use of this thing.
Wouldn't you have had to have preset that the matrix you're going to be using is the 2113?
Perfect. Yeah, I would have had to told you. I would have had to tell you how I was encoding, right?
Or you just give me it. You encrypt it for them, and then they encrypt it and send it back. You unencrypt it and send it back to them, so they have their only lock.
This isn't a key exchange class.
Yeah, we're not doing key exchanges. Thank you, though. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There are more complicated and better ways to do cryptography than this. But this is a good start. This is essentially why you wouldn't want to stick a hard drive full of information on a space probe and send it out. Because if an alien got a hold of a hard drive full of information, they wouldn't know what to do with it, right?
They would have to break the code.
Which is sort of annoying. So you need to send along some kind of a universal code thing, which is actually a really hard question. Anyway, I got to here, right? So if I give this to someone else, right? I give them 25, 35 passed along, however, what are they going to do with this? How are they going to get the information out?
They'll put in the original matrix and solve for whatever the variables were.
Okay, we could augment and solve, yeah. Or I could find the, right? If they were going to do this a lot, it would probably be better if they just found the inverse of this matrix, right? So they're going to hit this with the 2, 1, 1, 3 inverse. You guys see that? And what are they going to get out of this? They're going to get 8 and 9, and they're going to know that that's encoded by pi. She's riding my unicycle.
Unsupervised?
Apparently. She'll be fine. Cool? Questions, things? You guys want to try? Good. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So, what was that, Chris?
So if you have a word that's only 2 letters, so if you wanted to do a word that has more letters, then you'd need to increase the size of the matrix you're multiplying it by?
That would be one option that will create terror in the hearts of your friends. So, I would say if you want to encode a longer message, like this is a longer... Okay, I'm done. I would break this into pieces of length 2. Then you stick a space at the end of it.
It's just 0. That's just...
Right?
Or period.
You guys see this? And then I would pass them each little bit of information, right? So they're going to get a whole bunch of these. Instead of getting one,
This message must be really important.
right, they're going to get a whole bunch of little pairs.
And then you'll have to like.
And then they'll have to decode each pair by multiplying by their inverse matrix.
But like, with computer to computer, this is...
Yeah, exactly. This is nothing to a computer, right?
That's true.
Cool?
Right.
That's much easier.